of effort throughout spring. Where was that?
Yeah, I feel like we're in a really good spot. I feel like every day this spring we got better as a unit. We stacked a lot of good days together, and I feel like all that momentum and chemistry is carried over to this summer. And main thing is get guys healthy and keep those guys healthy and continue to stack good days in training camp, and feel like we're in a really, really good spot.
If you had to name one strength of your defense coming out of the spring, what's that be?
One strength, I feel like we're really fast and athletic. Obviously we got some big dudes up front, but I feel like in the back end, the back seven, we're really athletic and can run. And you either got speed or you're chasing it.
When it comes to the linebacker room, who's got it better than you guys right now? How have you seen some of the younger guys, specifically Sammy Brown, step in to the defense?
Yeah, I think when he first got here, kind of swimming and just learning what to do and so forth and so on. But you could see like the spring game really, put in, his spring came to fruition in the spring game and really had a productive spring game. 8 tackles, sack on his very first play. And, every day he got better. Obviously, growing up around the game, being a coach's kid, he soaks up as much knowledge as he can process things, and sky's the limit for him.
Wes, with Wade moving to Mike, how long do you think it'll take for him to sort of be truly comfortable there in a spot that requires so much?
Yeah, every game is a learning experience. There's new things, new wrinkles that you see every week. So it'll definitely take time, but I feel like, throwing him in the fire in the Kentucky game, I feel like he handled that really well. Not a lot of mental issues or misfits. Just got to get more comfortable knowing where his help is in the run game. Pressure-wise, he'll be fine. Coverage-wise, he'll be fine. But just getting comfortable, key reads, initial footwork, understanding where leverage and help is. Just continue to harp on those things. And I feel like he's just a natural in there.
Coach, we talk about it a lot from the player's standpoint, but you being in the system another year, obviously being a little bit more comfortable with what you're going to run, how does that impact the game momentum and scheme standpoint?
Yeah, I feel like this is going into year 3, obviously adding Rump into the equation, but I feel like everybody's on the same page. They all understand how I see the game, speak the game, teach the game, and I feel like my expectations, we take another step this year. We'll finish 8th in total defense last year, so hopefully we can improve upon that. We've got a great room. Staff-wise, we're all pulling in the same direction, got each other's back, a lot of fun in there, but at the end of the day, those guys know my expectations and going into the season.
When it comes to Peter Woods, how have you seen him grow heading into the season, and just how good can he be?
Yeah, he came in well beyond his years from a football understanding. Watching him in high school, he played all along the line, DN, D tackle, so forth and so on. So just from a knowledge standpoint, he picked things up pretty fast. And, he gives you so much versatility. Play him inside, play him outside, all techniques along the line. And just the ability to process things. One time he may be a 5 technique, next play he slides inside, so forth and so on. But just his ability to process and understand the scheme, his techniques, block recognition and stuff, I feel like are well beyond his years.
With a guy like A.J. Hoffman, now that he's had a year in the system, where's he at coming into ball game?
Yeah, AJ's coming along really good. He's getting coached really hard every day by Coach Rump, and I'm excited to see where he's at when we start fall camp. Had a solid spring, and has been really working extremely hard this summer, and I feel like he's in a good spot, to get into the potentially earn playing time in the rotation.
How about corner, I guess, opposite Avian. How do you assess that there? And Jaden Lucas, maybe some people sort of forget that name, but can you just maybe give an update on his?
Yeah, be good to get J. Lou back healthy, first and foremost. But any of those guys have played winning football for us. J. Lou, Shelton. It'll be interesting to see Corian when he gets back healthy. Obviously, adding Ashton this summer. I don't think I'm leaving anyone out, but all those guys, I feel like have an opportunity, to earn the right to run out there, and we'll see how that competition shakes out in the first few weeks of training camp.
What do you think Avion's ceiling is here in his second year, sort of being the guy?
Yeah, I mean, I feel very confident he can continue to improve upon a great freshman year. He's a ball junkie. He loves the grind. He's always in here studying, trying to improve his craft. They're up here on the weekends, all of those young DBs really pushing each other. And, I'm excited to see him take the next step. He's a highly competitive young man. Could you repeat that question? I couldn't hear. I'm sorry.
Peter was talking about his versatility. Would you want to continue to play the use in that versatility option, sometimes inside, outside, or is there a specific part on the defensive line?
Yeah, I think it just depends personnel-wise what we want to do. Whether we want to have true big guys out there like the Notre Dame game where we had more 3D tackle type bodies, one edge defender, or you're in two edge defenders plus two D tackles. So our scheme gives us the versatility to do all that. I think it depends upon the opponent. Obviously, going against Georgia game one, they're massive up front. So we got to get big when they get big, and but just his versatility, his ability to process things gives you that advantage. But playing on the edge, playing on the inside, I think he can have the same dynamic impact that I expect from him.
When it comes to Barrett Carter, how big was it to get him back, and how have you kind of seen him grow into that leadership role and take control of being like, hey, this is my defense, this is my year?
Yeah, obviously getting that type of talent back is incredible. But first and foremost, he's an incredible young man, just a great leader. No one's more respected in this building than Barrett Carter. And just his work ethic every day, just showing up with the right mindset, right attitude. A lot of guys confide in him in the locker room, being the veteran guy going into year 4. He does a great job of pouring into the young men that have just arrived and so forth and so on. Not only on the defensive side, but the offensive side. And just having that type of character and leadership back is incredible.
Outside of Barrett, who are some of the other guys maybe going into those leadership roles?
Yeah, I think just from my group, Barrett, obviously, and then Woodaz, he's a vocal, fiery type guy. He's not afraid to call guys out, challenge guys. And then the back end, you got RJ and Tyler Venables, who's been around here for a long time. Tyler's a coach on the field, same with RJ. He's one of the most savvy guys on the team. Just those two provide great leadership for those young DBs. And then young guys come along from a leadership standpoint. I would throw Avion and Shelton and Khalil Barnes in that group as well. Then up front, Cade Denhoff provides leadership for that group. And then TJ and Peter and Peyton Page has really grown into that role as well for the inside guys.
When it comes to the DBs and specifically cornerbacks, has anybody stood out as players that maybe we're not talking about as much this summer?
Well, the last 2 weeks, the talk's been just, some of the freshmen, Ashton Hampton showing up, new guy rolling in on the scene. So we'll see where he's at, starting out training camp, obviously getting Corian back healthy and seeing where he's at. But, those are a couple of the guys just to throw their names out there.
You mentioned Khalil Barnes a minute ago. As good as he was in his freshman season, how much more room does he have to grow and take another step?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, there's obviously definitely room to grow. You know, I think just from a knowledge standpoint, you know, pre-snap wise, he can improve some on pre-snap alignments, leverages, just big picture understanding. You know, we're going to ask him to be a highly versatile guy, so just continue to learn the big picture, what's going on around him, and obviously just continue to polish his technique.
Can you speak on the journey of last season, the big wins and the big loses? How has that impacted the summer, and how is that going to go into the start of the new season?
Yeah, I think the character of our football team really showed during the last stretch. You know, going into November, sitting there 4-4, you know, and to rip off 5 straight wins in a row speaks volumes to the young men on this team. And so I've just seen that momentum carried into the offseason, and I feel like guys have a chip on their shoulder. You know, they got a lot to prove going into this year. You know, maybe we're not talked about as much as we have been in the past, but guys in this building, you know, have used that as motivation, you know, being focused, driven, and just got a lot to prove this year going forward. And I feel like that's why you saw Barrett come back, you know, RJ, Tyler, all those senior guys that have been here 4 or 5 years. They want to go out the right way, and you've really seen that this summer with how they've been working, you know, player-led stuff.
Basically, Woods and Parker are kind of the face of the program in a lot of ways. But in what ways are y'all sort of putting it on their shoulders to get better and to maybe sort of prove themselves to the extent that y'all need?
Yeah, you know, obviously they got great talent, but I feel like they can clean up technique, you know, pre-snap alignments. Obviously, you can react to blocks faster, process things better, and then just growing into a leadership role, you know, challenge them to grow into that. And seeing that, like, during the weekends, they're up here, the whole D-line group, you know, been cool to see all those guys, how they're working together.